Wow. Talk about a way to really lose a divorce. Now, when it comes to Jasmine and Gino, we've been waiting for a long time for these two to finally split. But now we're in a position where not only have they finally finalized the divorce, and not only has Gino won the divorce, but now we've got even more information regarding that. Let's dive into what's been reported here by US Magazine. So it says in 90 Day Fiance, Jasmine ordered to pay Gino $20,000 of spouse support in divorce. Asset details. This is absolutely crazy. Remember how Angela Deem had to pay Michael back? I think it was over about 200, was it 200K? It was something like that. She had to pay him back quite a bit, didn't she? But as we can see here, Jasmine has been ordered to pay her ex-husband Gino spousal support after divorce was finalized, according to legal documents obtained by US Weekly on Friday, June 26. The court ordered Jasmine 39. How is Jasmine still 39 after 4 years? Does this woman's age never change? But anyway, we'll need to pay Gino 57, 20,000 in spouse support. The documents state that the defendant shall pay this account at $500 a month for a period of 40 months. Spouse support will commence on the first day of the month after the judgment of divorce is granted, which is July 1st, 2026. In the division of assets, it was also stated that in terms of former couple's property, Gino will retain their Canton, Michigan property, while Jasmine gets to keep their home in Dundee, Florida. I mean, that does make sense, you know what I mean? The court decided that each party will retain their own clothing, jewelry, and personal effects, as well as any furniture and furnishings inside the respective properties. Gino will also get to keep the 2015 Ford Explorer. In response to the legal filing, Gino's legal representative said Jasmine would not receive 1 red cent from Gino. Basically, in a nutshell, my client is a super nice guy. He offered from the very beginning for each party to walk away keeping their own property. The lawyer told US, or us, should we say, Us Weekly. She said for the money that she was not entitled to, then attempted to default him in a out-of-state court, at which point my client was forced to defend himself. The end result, she's paying my client money and he is not paying her 1 red cent. What does red cent mean though? Why just not 1 cent? I don't understand that point. Please do let me know. Also continued by saying earlier on Friday, Jasmine spoke out via her lawyer after the divorce was finalized. My client had exercised remarkable restraint despite repeated public accusations that we believe are false and damaging. The legal process has concluded. The public attacks have not. Jasmine's lawyer Andrew said in the statement to Us Weekly on Friday, we are issuing a formal cease and desist demand. And if these defamatory statements continue, we are fully prepared to pursue any legal remedy available. Reputation has value, and the law provides recourse when false claims cause harm. So that means Gino obviously cannot say anything about Jasmine moving forward. And I can imagine to be the same on the way back as well. Jasmine's lawyer, Dominique, now remember Jasmine had multiple lawyers, folks, okay, let's bear that in mind, has also addressed the reality star's divorce in a statement to Us. For far too long, Jasmine has been forced to defend herself against a narrative that simply does not align with either the facts or the outcome of this case. The final divorce resolution speaks louder than months of interviews, online commentary, and accusations, okay? Now, of course, the lawyer continued by saying, Jasmine, chose peace over prolonged litigation. She honored a settlement so she could close the chapter and focus on her children, something that we truly hope that she bloody does. Her family and her future. Unfortunately, the continued public attacks have made it necessary to respond. The legal process has concluded and the outcome speaks for itself. Jasmine is choosing to move forward with grace, dignity, and purpose, and not conflict. I hope she means that. We are hopeful this chapter has finally come to a close. However, a person's reputation is invaluable. Should false and defamatory statements continue, we are fully prepared to protect Jasmine's rights through every appropriate legal avenue. We remain confident that the truth, supported by the facts, will continue to speak for itself. This makes sense, but Jasmine did make a post saying that if anybody messaged her about Gino, she does not want to know, because clearly her and Gino are not in a position anymore to ever say anything about each other. Because of course, reputation is invaluable. Also continues by Gino and Jasmine met online in 2019 and wed in June 2023. Their relationship was initially documented in 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, followed by the flagship show and the spin-off The Last Resort. According to Gino's July 2025 divorce filing in Michigan, they separated in April of 2024. For her part, Jasmine filed for divorce from Gino in Florida, August 2025. Gino and Jasmine agreed to have a non-monogamous relationship, which Gino admitted later he regretted. Jasmine began seeing Matt, with whom she welcomed daughter Matilda in March 2025. She also has sons Juice and JC from a previous relationship. The two sons that we are still waiting for her to finally bring to America and actually claim and actually be there for her. Now, of course, when it comes to Jasmine and her two boys, there's always a speculation that she has abandoned them and she chose to leave them behind and she doesn't look after them and she puts all of her money priority in other things rather than put into them. But then there's other people that argue and say, hold on a minute, no, Jasmine does send money back to her kids. She does look after them financially. I mean, listen, we will never know the truth between Jasmine's relationship with her kids, but the day that she does finally bring them to the USA, I guess that's the day those accusations or rumors or speculations and whatnot will come to an end. But I can imagine the internet will continue being the internet, and until those boys are with her in her hands, or until she flies to Panama to actually see them, people will probably still continue with the accusations and with their comments. And well, why wouldn't we? Because, well, in the show, she never really showed much depth in terms of her thinking about those boys. All she ever showed was her wanting to come to America. All she ever showed was Gino always giving her money for herself. It was never a point where she was like, oh, I need money for me and my kids. Oh, when you do the visa, make sure my kids... We never heard those statements kind of come out of her mouth. Jasmine is the one that created this narrative. She's the one that put herself in this position where these accusations happen. Because the way she conducted herself and the way even that she does still continue to conduct herself anyway, to be honest with you. Jasmine is one of those people that just doesn't help herself, but some reason she struggles to take any accountability of the fact that she doesn't simply help herself. And that is the problem with Jasmine. If she was able to understand that she is a massive problem when it comes to her behavior, then that would be great. But here's the thing though, Jasmine also did come out of a statement claiming that Gino had been what? He had been fired. He had been released from his responsibilities from 90 Day Fiance. With that being said, Gino then came out with this post here where he says, a relative of Gino, as you can see, Anthony, who's obviously joined with him, came out with this post here where he says, congratulations to finally making this official, Uncle Gino. It's been an honor to be a part of your 90-day journey and to watch you embrace this new chapter with confidence, laughter, and a fresh outlook on life. Life has a funny way of taking us in unexpected directions, and you handled it with strength and stayed true to yourself every step of the way. Here's to the new beginnings, new adventures, and whatever comes next. Thanks for letting me be along for the ride. Cheers for your next chapter. So the question is, does this post indicate in any shape or form that maybe, just maybe, Gino really has been let go by 90 Day Fiance and we won't be seeing Gino again when it comes to 90 Day Fiance for the foreseeable? That is what That's where the question now lies, folks, okay? That is where the question lies. But I will say this, as you know, Jasmine loves to be active on her social media account. And this is something that Jasmine has chosen to respond to regarding everything that has happened currently with the divorce. So, as you can see, taken off her Facebook here, she responds to this comment where she says, "We, immigrants, don't come here to take anything. We used to work hard and we hustle, and we have the conviction that people like the conviction that for people like us, not even the sky is the limit." And as you can see, she's responding to this person who says to her, "So the divorce is final and you have to pay Gino so much for your handsome attorneys." And she responds by saying, "My attorney can't remember the exact number, but I think his fees were around 5K. Don't worry, okay, about my finances. I do the whole thing in just 1 month with my exclusive platforms." And as you can see, Jasmine is obviously flexing how much she gets from her OF account. So therefore, I guess paying him back the 500 ain't nothing to her. Well, good for you, honey. Good for you. Now, here's the thing though, even though it has come out that Gino, and it feels more than ever that Gino will not be back tonight, the fiance, on the other hand, Jasmine has made it clear that there are still future plans for herself in the entertainment business. So therefore, that does bring the question, will Jasmine be back for another season of Night, the Fiance, or will she be back for a different show somewhere else? It probably will be TLC, to be honest with you, but either way, though, I guess we have to stay tuned to find out what the hell she's cooking. But the matter of the fact is, the journey has now come to an end, and that is the main thing. I hope nothing ever comes out again that puts me in a position where I feel the need to make the video, because I don't want to talk about these two again. But if information comes out that needs to be shared, I'm going to do what I got to do, because that's my job. You know what I mean? I got to put money on the table. So I do understand when people say, "Can you stop talking about third person?" I understand, but hey, sometimes you got to understand. I got to put money on my table. With that being said, though, thank you so much for your time. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and please don't forget to hype the video, like the video, subscribe, and have a great Sunday. Thank you so much for your time.